probably not.
Here,
Yeah, I'll
let
mic
me
you
help
up.
There you go.
Thank you.
Oh, shit. Sorry,
Nice.
Any questions after today?
Your impression of the 2-minute at the end, offensive end, it seems like you had success on both sides.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to get some of the groups that are going to work it in the game possibly. So you saw our second unit, and then you saw our third unit. Anytime you're trying to simulate game situations, one of them was down in the red zone. We had to defend, 6 or 7 plays inside the 10-yard line. So that'll be good film for us.
Cyril Grayson made a couple of catches near the end. I know you've talked about him before, but he's the kind of guy you need to see sort of do it every day. How would you grade his progress right now?
I mean, look, he's made some plays for us. He's inconsistent right now. So I think it's going to be important these next 3 weeks to start seeing a little bit better pattern. But he can run, and there's some things that you see that he's doing real well, and then at times there's some plays that, whether it's a technique, whether it's a split, some of the details.
Even in football pads, is his speed unique?
I think he's got good speed, and so I think that's the best way to describe it. He can run.
What are your impressions so far of Trey Hendrickson as he rotates?
I think he's at a better weight this year, and I think he's having a pretty good camp. So I'm encouraged. He's got some versatility, but I like how he's been practicing, and I think it's been overall pretty positive.
Does it usually take this long for, this is entering his third camp here, but is that typically where you want to start seeing growth in the defensive
No,
end?
look, you could see it earlier, and sometimes you never get to it. So, but he's someone that's competing for playing time.
A little bit of a lighter load today. I know they started with pads and kind of went.
Yeah, so it was shoulder pads and helmets, much like a year ago, and then halfway through practice, we put them in the shells. We still were able to get some good physical practice. We had a run period to start practice, and then quite a bit of team snaps. So overall, I thought it was good.
Safe to say these 2 days have given you everything you hoped they would?
Sure. I mean, you're going to have good weather, and like I said yesterday, we've had good practices with these guys. It's a good football team, and it's good to see a different group of players.
Sean, from preseason game 1 to 2, are you looking for anything more than just a steady improvement?
Well, I mean, I think with each group, it depends. I mean, obviously we're going to play our ones a little bit longer into this game, like we typically do, and you're wanting to see some of the mistakes cleaned up from a week ago.
As far as I know, people use terms like superstition and things like that. I wouldn't use that silly of a term, but you followed the same routine that you did last year. Obviously, you've had successful seasons since you've been coming out here. How much of that plays into it worked last year, or does that just coincidence?
I think probably more coincidence. I think for us, it's the camp we're having back at home has been good, and for me, it's getting to a climate to get a little bit longer practice in without just for surviving it, and so I think getting out here, I mean, you could practice 3 hours out here and it feels fantastic.
Coach A.J. Derby's, even though he's just joined the team, he seems like he's flashing out there a little bit over these last.
There's some things he can do in the passing game. I would say he's pretty in tune too. It's just establishing a confidence level as to what exactly, and then what's the vision for the player.
Is he someone you've had your eye on before in the past?
Well, we've evaluated him before, certainly in the draft process. So we're aware of the player, and now you get a little bit more familiarity. Just he's on your own roster, so we're having a chance to look at him. All right, thanks. Oh, go ahead.
Can I ask you a little about Derwin James of the Chargers? What challenges he presents to an offense?
Well, I think overall, his versatility. He's someone that you can cover, but he's also someone that can play in the paint like a linebacker. And so his speed and his length is what stands out to you. He's someone who I think is a very good tackler. So that versatility, lends itself to being a pretty good football player.
When you saw him last year as a rookie, were you impressed?
Yeah, absolutely.
Could you tell?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Glad to see everybody made the trip.
Your impressions of the 2 days of work here, what'd you think?
Work here? What? It's 72 degrees and sunny. The struggle is so hard to overcome sometimes. Sometimes when adversity stacks up so high, the measures you have to take are immense. You have to find a reason to sort of loosen your back and loosen joints. But no, when you talk about being able to come to a joint practice with the Chargers, I wouldn't say I mark it on a training camp schedule. But when you get out here and you get to work against somebody else, it's nice to hit somebody else that's not your guy you're going to see 5 minutes after practice.
Cam, how productive is the work out here against a quality team?
With pads on, amazing. I mean, you know, they take pads off in training camp. It's mind-blowing. That's exciting. You know, when you have an ability to go against a team that you know is a high-caliber team, this is a team that went to playoffs last year. You know you're going against a defense that has, you know, has been anchoring at least the strength of their team. They're against their offense. You're going to go against one of the top gunslingers in the league. This is time to sharpen all your tools, know exactly what you have, and be able to go 2 days competition periods where you know things can be stretched. It makes you realize what you have, what you need to work on, and emphasizes exactly what we have to focus on to be better.
Regardless of your snaps, what do you hope to see from preseason game 1 to 2?
Growth. I mean, you know, you're always looking for that step forward. You talk about game 1 and game 2, you know, you're looking for pressures on quarterback, you're looking for a turnover on defense, and you're always looking for that next step forward. So whatever that is for us, that's how we got to get better at.
Is the mental break of getting here, just getting away for a few days out of the heat?
You mean where it's not 95 degrees, 100% humidity? Oh yeah, it's taxing. I tell you, it's a real try to somehow wake up in California and have this cool breeze hitting your face. God, I don't know how people do it.
Cam, do you find you get more vet days off than you used to?
I don't know. I think this started up last year. I mean, somewhere around year 8, they start caring about your body. It's crazy. No, but I mean, it's all part of the plan, and whatever coach and the staff sets up, I mean, I'm more than willing to follow the plan. What's important to me is winning games, and whatever puts us in the best position to do so. So if that's vet days, if that's working all throughout, I don't really care about the workload. I care about the ability to get better each and every rep I take.
But it's not really a day off because you're still on your feet at practice. So how do you get the same thing out of practice as you would if you were in pads and practicing?
Mental reps. I mean, it's one thing to, you know, watch it on film. It's one thing to watch it in person. When you take to the field, you're always trying to find one aspect of an area to improve upon, and not only improve upon, but to see how you would adjust to a certain situation. So if you got tight bunch, if you got tight and off ball or whatever it is, see how you would attack, and see if how you would attack would go ahead and put it into the game film. I mean, if you can get better from practice, you can get better in the games, you can get better in the game, hopefully you win that game.
So everyone always says mental reps, so you're kind of focusing maybe on what one teammate
I look at the left end and take that person and put myself there. So I necessarily don't see his moves, I see my moves. So at the end of the day, I feel that I'm gonna be one of the best 11 players on the field. And taking those reps for me is just as straining mentally as it is physically. Welcome.
Thank you. You're done. Congrats. You good? So a couple days on the West Coast here. Would you say you got what you needed out of these joint practices?
Yeah, just the weather. Just being out of that New Orleans heat it means everything. You know, on our bodies, you know, on our minds. You know, it just feel good out here. And, you know, we've been getting that work too. So you know, I just feel like when we come out here, you know, we try to give our best. You know, every day, and you know, just the weather complements everything. You know, and I love it.
Marshon, I think last year you said you kind of eased in the training camp. Did you have a more business-like approach, or more get to it approach this year?
Of course, because you know this year, like last year, you know, start off slow. Okay, you know it happens at corner, but you know, I don't want to start slow. I don't want to play slow at all. You know, I want to have every season like my rookie season times 10. So, you know, I just got to come with a better mindset, and I did, you know, do that. Especially, I'm glad we got Mike back. You know, that's great work right there. and Ted. You know, all the receivers just coming along, and you know, I just been competing. You know, that's all I could do. You know, just compete, just raise my game and raise everybody else's game around me.
Year 3 is like the asterisk year, especially for cornerbacks. Do you feel that? Do you feel sort of more ready that year 3 is the year?
Yeah, definitely. You know, year 1, come in not knowing much. Year 2, I won't say make or break you, but you know, it helps you. You know, going to year 3. But you know, I started slow, but I picked it up. You know, towards the middle and the end of the season. So going into this season, you know, I just want to start. You know, how I played. You know, at the end of the season, and then raise my game every week. You know, just becoming better mentally and physically. You know, as a player. So year 3, you know, is big for me. You know, especially any corner though, anybody period, but corner definitely is big. So yeah, I'm ready for it.
How much more mentally ready are you now? Because I know you said, you know, your rookie year, you kind of just went out there and you were able to just do it.
Exactly. You know, now, you know, they study you exactly. Like, they know your tendencies and stuff. So you just gotta, you know, be physically better and mentally better, just knowing what's coming. You know, just things like that. And we've been working on. You know, I got a long way to go. You know, like AG said, but. You know, I picked up on more and more. Like out here, you can tell just the difference between, you know, how I react to certain things. It's just, you know, it comes naturally now. But you know, I'm still trying to raise my game up to the next level.
As a corner, how do you hide or change or disguise tendencies?
You just gotta have more like things in your repertoire. Like, you just can't jam all the time. You gotta inch. It's just certain things you gotta mix the game up. So. You gotta mix the game up so they can't really just get your tendencies down. And of course, you know, you got the certain thing you go to. You gotta go to, but you know, you just gotta be able to mix it up and be comfortable mixing it up.
You know, Drew took some guys to the racetrack last year. Is that an offensive thing, or defensive players go?
I think that might be an offensive thing. I don't know nothing about it.
I
ain't know nothing about it. I don't know.
The defensive players have everything set up for California to team bonding or anything?
I don't know, man. We'll see. We ain't thought about nothing. Yeah, probably out to eat first, but I don't know. We gonna see.
Thank you, Marshon. Appreciate it.
Sorry.
Hey. Go ahead, Doug. Lead it off.
Your review of the 2 days out here, Mike, what you think?
You know, it's always good to be back home. It's beautiful weather and just to compete against another team. I know me and my teammates, you know, we're tired of going against each other every day, and we're chopping at the bit to get the season started. So to come out here and go against some new guys and work on our game and get better is great.
How long did it take you to catch up? Was it the first day you felt like you were right back in, or did it take a couple of days?
You know, it takes a couple of days for sure, but I was always working. You know, me and Drew, we were working in San Diego and stuff, and the guys. So we always try to stay on it as much as we can.
Mike, when you're not in the team drills yesterday and then you get back to it today, are you just kind of, you know, chomping to get back in there, or do you appreciate having the dial back day?
I'm just like taking coaching, and whatever the coaches tell me the plan is for me today, I'm just maximizing that time and my opportunities that I have.
Good? All righty.
All right.